Hey team, the purpose of this video is to teach you how to use Microsoft Word as a whiteboard-like strategy. As you are connecting with students, maybe you want to draw or write on some documents, and maybe your document camera isn't the perfect tool for you. I'm going to show you how to drop some PDF pages into this Microsoft Word document, and then I'm going to show you the drawing tools that are available to you in here so that you could use this in your Zoom session in order to help your students navigate whatever documents you're working with. So I've opened up a brand new Word document, and then I've also opened a PDF. So here's my Adobe PDF file. The snipping tool I have pinned down here into my lower toolbar. If you haven't watched my video on YouTube that talks about the snipping tool, feel free to use that. Your other option is to use the magnifying glass right here to type in snipping tool. After you locate snipping tool, go ahead and click right there in order to activate it. I have chosen to leave it here all the time. If you want any resource to stay inside this lower toolbar, use the right click button on your mouse in order to pin that item onto your taskbar so you can use it easily. So I am now going to click the new button right here. When I click the new button, a fog is going to appear over my screen. I'm going to use those cross hairs to find that upper left-hand corner. I'm going to leave my mouse button down. I'm going to slide all the way down here to the right so that I'm going to capture that entire PDF page. There I have a copy of it. I can nest this away in the lower toolbar by clicking this little minus button. And I can use the minus or minimize button right here. And what I copied is in the clipboard. So the minute I come over here and I choose Control V for victory on my keyboard, it's going to paste that in there. If you feel like the gutter or the borders are a little bit too wide and you want to thin them out, you can come to Layout. You can choose to make those margins smaller so that you have more space on that document if you wish. And you can resize that original snip so that it's whatever perfect size that you want. I would do this in advance before the lesson ever starts. That way it's ready to go inside that Word document. I wouldn't waste those Zoom minutes trying to snip that and drop it in there. Sometimes on the fly, you have to. You're like, oh man, that lesson went quicker than I expected. I need one more page. And that's totally understandable. In the bottom right-hand corner down here, you can use this little bar in order to zoom in. Your other option is to hold the control button down on your keyboard and to use the wheel on your wireless mouse. If you're using a wireless mouse that has a wheel, then you have the ability to use that control button and then zoom in and zoom out if needed. I have a stylus on my computer. It came with it. If you don't, you can use your index finger. If that's not working very well, then you can go on Amazon. Very inexpensively, you can find a stylus available there, or Best Buy or Target or Walmart. Some of your local retailers will have that as well. Up on the top, it's called the ribbon. This area up at the top that gives you all these resources, and I have asked that mine disappear. On the right-hand side, all the way over here, you have a pin. So if you want to pin it into spots so that it doesn't disappear, then you can. Or that when the pin disappears, you have this little arrow because you want to collapse the ribbon. And it just gives you more space. So you have the ability to bring that back or make it disappear as you choose. Up on the top on the left, it says Draw. I'm going to choose Draw. And then I have each of these tools to work with. If I want to highlight something on the document, I would use the highlighter, or you have the pen tool. And inside the pen tool, when you click it, this little arrow appears. And when you click that little arrow again, you have options. You can change the thickness of your pen so that it's most effective for whatever you're doing on the document. And then you also have other colors to choose from. So if you're asking the students to annotate using colored pencils at home, and you want theme or message to be in green, character analysis to be in red, then you can mimic those same teaching strategies using these pens available. So I've chosen green, and then I'm just going to use that tool right there on the screen, and you can see how I just underlined the title. So if you're asking the students to annotate a document to look for key ideas and things of that nature, then you can draw their attention to this. You can actually use it as a math teaching space if you wanted to as well. You don't have to drop a snip of a PDF in there if you don't want to. You also have the capacity to take pictures of the math book, the textbook, or benchmark consumables or any other resource, and you can drop those pictures in here. I'm going to click on Draw all over again. I'm going to use my stylus. Then I'm going to choose that little down arrow. I'm going to switch colors. So I'll model what it looks like to switch colors. If I want to draw the student's attention to a specific area, if I want to circle something right on that document, I have the ability to do that. I can draw an arrow if I need to, or if I actually just want to write words, I can certainly do that as well. Because it is a Word document, I do have the ability to insert a text box if I wanted to, because maybe I feel that inserting a text box is a better strategy. Sometimes when you insert that text box, things are going to jump around on the page. So if you have a key idea, a thought, a strategy, some analysis that you want to add to that document, then you have the ability to drop that text box in there as well. In the course of writing on this document, if you make any mistakes, you have the ability to use that undo button. You can go back in history, much like you would in a normal Word document. You can go back in history and take those things away, or you also have the ability to bring those items back. When you get down to the bottom of the document, you'll notice how my cursor is camping out right here in that bottom right-hand corner. I can press enter on my keyboard one time in order to have a new document. If I want to zoom in, I have the ability to zoom in, and then I can go back into whatever strategy I need to. If I want to head over into math ideas, I can model those ideas right here on the screen. And again, I have that ability to change colors. So if I want to showcase my metacognitive strategies in different colors, or highlight student thinking, maybe Sarah had some ideas to add to the discussion, and I wanted to specifically talk about the strategies that she utilized and then point that out to the class. I can say, first, Sarah recalled the steps from the notes that we talked about in this lesson. She used those key ideas as she was solving this math question. At the close of using those key ideas, she remembered to check her work. And then maybe I lean into the class and say, friends, let's go ahead and give Sarah a silent applause. Sarah, I really like those strategies that you used in this lesson. Well done. And then because this document can go on as long as I want to, I can scoot this out of the way, and I have the ability to move right into that very next math question. In addition to constructing this video, I can also use that same snipping tool if I want to create a new snip. If I want to add this to a Google slide presentation or share it with students in Google Classroom in some way, I can go back to Sarah's idea. So let me scoot back up here. Instead of giving the students access to a new question, I can create a new snip. Maybe all of those things associated with the strategies that Sarah used, maybe I want to drop that into a Google slide presentation so I can summarize my teaching notes for the day and then share that out in Google Classroom so that students, maybe they have like a notebook of some kind that I'm adding to over and over again, and I've shared that link out with them so that they have access to my teaching notes. Another powerful tool that I have is that I can search the internet. And if you're going to search the internet, I recommend that you do that before your lesson starts. Another strategy that you have access to is if you want to copy an image from the internet and use it here in your lesson, you have the ability to do that. If the item that you're trying to drop into your document is not behaving the way that you want it to, do a right click on that image, scoot down here where it says wrap text. And in order for it to behave well inside of your document, one option is that you can choose tight. When you use type, you have the ability to move it around, and it's not going to fight you or resist you as you move that around. Do remember that you have the ability to make it smaller or larger if needed. If for some reason you want it tilted or askew, then you have the ability to do that. And then you can use whatever that image is as a teaching model. If the document keeps forcing you up to a location where you don't want to be, figure out where that cursor is. And then one option is to hold the shift button down and then use the enter button over and over again. And by doing that, you're not going to have items that are shifting around abruptly. The computer is also smart enough to recognize when something belongs together. So I used Sarah in one sweeping moment, and then I picked my pen up and then changed gears. And then the computer recognizes each of those as independent pieces or groups of pieces so that they can get adjusted or moved around as needed. And then again, this is a Word document, so you don't always need to have a text box. You can actually just type on screen concepts or ideas that you want to share with the students. Thanks so much for paying attention, and have a great day.